Hey everyone, welcome back to another review. As always, my name is Jay, and in this video I'm going to go over the new Space Marine Codex that is up for pre-order now. It is like a Space Marine Codex 2.0, right? This is the updated version of the current 8th edition Space Marine Codex. And so today I'm not going to go over the whole codex. This is a huge codex, as you can see. The thing is about Space Marines is they have a lot of units. So today I'm going to focus on my overall thoughts and what's new about the Codex, the overall trends, what I think is going to be really good, the new tactics, the new rules, etc. And just, I will go over a bit, but I'm not going to go over squad by squad as I normally do in my Codex reviews, because really nothing has changed as far as stat lines go, except for a couple models. There are some new models in this Codex, which I will go over. There are some new rules. And that's the important part, right? What's new about this codex. This is an 8th edition codex already. So the old one, the old 8th edition codex, right? It's an 8th edition codex. 8th edition 2.0. So, let's start with the big things. Number one, there are no characters, no named characters in this codex. None. They're all in their individual supplements. So you'll have to use the supplements in conjunction with this if you want. So no Lysander, no Sicarius, no Guilliman. Of course, Guilliman is in the Ultramarines Codex. He got slightly nerfed. I'm okay with that, actually, to be honest, because that allows, the nerfing of Guilliman actually allows the other units in the Codex to be buffed, because then they'll be better on their own, rather than having to rely on Guilliman. I'm not the big fan of Guilliman, to be honest, but that's okay. What else is new about this Codex? It is better. It is better overall. It is better. I believe it's better. The rule is better. Better. Space Marines are a loved codex, but they haven't been competitive in years. And if you look at the competitive meta, Space Marines are not part of the competitive meta. Occasionally you'll see a competitive Ultramarines list, but you'll never see an Imperial Fists list, and that's it, right? It's like Space Marines are bland, and their rules are very basic. The rules are very middle tone, and all the other armies can really pick on Space Marines, I find. So this codex helps bring them back towards the competitive meta. There are a lot of really cool new things in this codex. The traits of each individual faction got buffed as a whole, pretty much buffed. There are new abilities that are just nasty, and let's go over them. As I said, some new units. I think there's some better, heavier choice units was what the Chaos Space Marine army needed. There's a couple new, so we'll go over them all. So, first of all, the big changes. So, number one is this new rule called Angels of Death. Angels of Death is amazing. So, if a model has Angels of Death, they have the following rules. They shall know fear, which is good. Bolter Discipline, which is the new and improved Bolter Discipline, the Beta Bolter rule, which once again, just to refresh your memories, they get double shots if they are within half range, if they remain stationary, or if they're terminated by Centurion or Dreadknot. Cool. And the next thing that they also get is called Shock Assault. This is just awesome. In the turn, if this unit makes a charge move, is charged, or performs a heroic intervention. So basically the first round of every combat, right? The first time that a combat happens. Add 1 to the attack's characteristic of models in this unit until the end of the turn. That is good. That is huge, because Primaris Marines really aren't that good in combat. If you got a bunch of the starter sets, for example, what you're going to notice is Primaris Marines aren't very good in close combat, because they have no AP, and they have no D. But now at least they have an extra attack. Hitting on 3s most likely, wounding on 4s, but still an extra attack. Nice. But this is the part that just, this is awesome. They also have a rule called Combat Doctrines. Now this is similar to the previous versions of Combat Doctrines, which you'll think about, but they're different. Models in this unit gain a bonus depending on which Combat Doctrine is active for your army. If you have a Battle-Forged army, units only benefit from this bonus if every unit from your army has this ability, unless specified otherwise. So in this case, excluding Servitor and unaligned units. So it'd be all Space Marines. Unless specified otherwise, the bonus is not cumulative with any other rules that improve the armor penetration characteristic of a weapon, i.e. Storm of Fire Warlord trait. At the start of the battle, the Devastator's Doctrine is active. A combat doctrine remains active for the duration of the battle, though you can change which combat doctrine is active once at the start of each battle round after the first. Battle round. So you have to say, if your opponent goes first, you have to change it during their turn. As follows. If the Devastator Doctrine is active during the previous battle round, you can change it to the Tactical. If the Tactical is active, you can change it to the Assault. You can't change the Assault back to the Devastator. And I really think people are going to start with the Devastator and switch to the Tactical, depending on the turn. Tactical is nasty. But Devastator Doctrine, the armor penetration characteristic of any heavy or grenade weapon is improved by 1. So AP0 becomes AP minus 1. Tactical Doctrine, the armor penetration characteristic of rapid fire and assault weapons this model is equipped with is improved by 1. An Assault Doctrine, while it's active, of course. This is while it's active. An Assault Doctrine, the armor penetration characteristic of pistol and melee weapons this model is equipped with is improved by 1 while this doctrine remains active. Wow, right? Huge. So, once again, Devastator increases the AP of the heavy weapons, but I really like the idea of the Tactical Doctrine since it improves assault and rapid fire weapons. And as we just discussed, rapid fire weapons are pretty strong for the Space Marine Codex. And plus, like if you look at the base rapid fire gun of an interceptor squad, it's already -1. So you have AP -2 bolters, right? If you're playing Imperial Fist like me, ignore cover. Wow. Huge, right? That is a huge new rule. And you get to the tactical flexibility of changing types between them. Wow, right? That's pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. And now, let's look at another thing that was really tweaked for this codex was the chapter tactics, right? So the chapter tactics, Ultramarines basically remain the same, right? You add one to the leadership characteristic, and units that have this tactic can shoot in the turn they fell back, but -1 to hit. Cool. Imperial Fists got hugely buffed. So when resolving attack, they ignore with a ranged weapon, they ignore the benefit of cover. And my favorite rule is, because they're like the bolter specialists. If that attack was made with a bolt weapon, any unmodified hit of 6 scores 1 additional hit. Wow. Right? That's awesome. It's not like orcs where, another 6 produces another attack. They get an additional hit. So with bolter fire, once again, right, an intercessor squad for Imperial Fists will have rapid fire AP -2 bolters that can score multiple hits per shot. I like it. This is a very strong way of dealing with hordes and models that they wouldn't normally be able to deal with other than just attrition. White Scars. There's no more +2 to the move. What theirs is there's now a no penalty. So units with this tactic can charge in the turn in which they advanced or fell back. Biker models with this tactic do not suffer the penalty for moving and firing heavy weapons or for advancing and firing assault weapons. Raven Guard. Different than before. So when resolving an attack made with ranged weapons against a unit with this tactic by a model that is more than 12 inches away, that unit is treated as having the benefit of cover to the saving throws if that unit is not a vehicle, and is entirely on or within a terrain feature, subtract 1 from the hit roll. So it used to be that if they were more than 12 inches away from you, it was -1 to hit. Now they have to be entirely within or on a terrain feature, and then it's -1 to hit, and they get the benefit of cover. Once again, Imperial Fists ignore cover. Salamanders, when this unit with its tactical fires Overwatch or is chosen to shoot or fight, you can reroll a single hit roll, or you can reroll a single wound roll. When resolving an attack made with this weapon that has an armor penetration characteristic of -1 against a unit with this tactic, that weapon is treated as having an armor penetration characteristic of 0. Iron Hands, when a model with this tactic would lose a wound, roll a d6. On a 6, that wound is not lost. When resolving an Overwatch attack made by this unit, a roll of 5 or 6 scores a hit. so it's better for Overwatch. In addition, models with this tactic that have a damage table are considered to have double the number of wounds remaining for purposes of determining what row to use on the damage table. That's very cool. It's equivalent to Imperial Fist's Hawkshroud. Black Templars. When a charge roll is made with this unit with this tactic, you can re-roll any or all of the dice. In addition, when a model with this tactic would lose a wound as a result of mortal wound, roll d6 on a 5-up, it is not lost. And then Crimson Fists. When resolving an attack made by a model with this tactic against a unit that contains at least 5 more models than the model's unit, add 1 to the hit roll. For the purpose of this attack, a vehicle model with this tactic counts as 5 models. In addition, when resolving an attack made with a bolt weapon, by a model with this tactic on an unmodified hit roll of 6 scores 1 additional hit, because they are a successor chapter of the Imperial Fists. So that's cool. As I said, better chapter tactics pretty much across the board, right? And the really cool thing about this codex is you can actually create successor chapter rules. And for the successor chapter rules, there's a list. I'm not going to go over all of them today. Most of them are all subsets of the ones I just went through. But basically, you get to choose 2, right? So a successor chapter, you get to choose 2 of the list, and you can create your own rules. It's pretty cool. Like one is preferred enemy. One is +1 leadership. One has the 5-up feel no pain against mortal wounds, basically. And as I said, you get to choose your own tactics, and it gives you some more tactical flexibility. As I said, you can create your own successor chapter, have a lot of fun, and kick some butt. So that's really cool stuff. Really good stuff so far. Next thing, basically in this codex, points costs. I'm not going to go over all of them because there are a lot of points in this codex. Basically across the board, points drops. There are very few things other than I think like the Razorback and a couple other things. Only a few things actually went up in points, but almost everything went down if it actually had a change. My main thing is like the troops, for example. Intercessor squad went from 20 points a model to 17. Fantastic. Scouts stayed the same at 11. Tactical squads went down by 1 to 12. There's the new Incursor squad at 19 and the Infiltrator squad. So that's pretty cool stuff, as I said. Right? That's really cool. Great thing about this codex is a bunch of new units have been added, and it does balance out that one, the Shadow Spear box set. They're all now in the codex, so there are a few new additions as well as on top of that addition, right? The new models from the previous codex aren't in this one. Okay, well, let's go through them quickly. There is the Captain and Phobos armor from the Shadow Spear box set. The Captain and Phobos armor is 90 points base plus all the upgrades. He has the Angels of Death rule, of course, concealed position. He can be set up anywhere in the battlefield that's more than 9 inches away from your opponent's deployment zone. He has an Omni Scrambler. They cannot be set up within 12 inches of him. Iron Halo, 4-pin vulnerable save, right into battle. Reroll ones made by friendly chapter units within 6 inches of him. And Camo Cloak, +2 to camp save if he's in cover. He's cool, 6-inch movement, weapon skill 2 up, blitz skill 2 up, strength 4, toughness 4, 6 wounds, 5 attacks, leadership 9, 3 up save. And he has a Mastercraft Instigator Bolt Carbine, which is a 30-inch range, assault 1, strength 4, AP -2, 3 damage. So once again, you call the Tactical Doctrine, and then all of a sudden it's strength 4, AP -3, 3 damage. And it has snipe. So it's pretty nasty. Pretty nasty indeed. I like it. As far as that goes, then all the main change to the HQ section in this codex is that there are no more named characters. In general, there's just none. There's also the Lieutenant Phobos armor, which Lieutenant Phobos armor is, so as I said, they're all in the supplements. And yeah, so you open the Ultramarine supplement, so I'll be doing a review on that in the future. Lieutenant in Phobos armor is 75 points base, and it's a lieutenant that has a jump pack, basically the graph shoot. Yeah, the big thing about a lieutenant is +1 is reroll wound rolls of 1 for anything within 6 inches of it. That's a chapter, same chapter as it. 6-inch movement, weapon skill 2 up, blitz skill 3 up, strength 4, toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8, 3 up save. There's the Primaris Librarian, The Chaplain is one of the newest models of the Codex, the Primaris Chaplain, and they're actually Chaplain rules. If I remember, I'll go over them later as well. So there's now a Chaplain rule. The Librarian Phobos armor is the new Librarian from Shadowspear in the box set. Librarian and Phobos armor is 90 points base. Angels of Death, Concealed Position, Camo Cloak, Psychic Hood, of course. Movement 6 inches, was Weapon Skill 3 up, was Skill 3 up, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 5 wounds, 4 attacks, Leadership 9, 3 up save. It can manifest 2 psychic powers, deny 1 per turn. Up next we have the troops. Now the big change to the troops, and once again, Intercessors got cheaper. Tactical squads got cheaper. Tactical squads also got some flexibility with drop pods. I'll go over that later. They have the new squads, the Incursor Squad and the Infiltrator Squad. Infiltrator Squad was from Shadowspear, but the Incursor Squad is going to be an alternative build in the when you buy the kits now. For the Infiltrator Squad, you can build Incursor Squads instead. Now, Infiltrator Squads are based, I believe, 19 points each. Incursors are 19, and Infiltrators are 22. So the main thing about the Infiltrator Squads is that they have concealed positions, so you can put them anywhere, right? As does the Incursor Squad. They have the Helix Adept, which prevents people from taking wound. Yeah. You can return models back to the squad. They're pretty much similar. Stat line is identical for both. Movement 6 inches, Weapon Skill 3 up, Ballistic Skill 3 up, Strength 4, Toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, Leadership 7, 3 up save. They each have sergeants. The Infiltrators come base with a Marksman Bolt Carbine, which is Rapid Fire 1, 24-inch range, Strength 4, AP nothing, D1. When resolving attack with this weapon and a modified roll of 6, automatically scores a hit and successfully wounds the target. So in this case, though, because they also have Angels of Death, so if you make them, which is really cool, because if they are Imperial Fists, a 6 auto hits and causes an additional hit. And successfully wounds the target. So I don't know how that will stack. They'll probably have to FAQ that one, because that's pretty... I don't know. That's a kind of cool one. So, they have Omni Scrammers, Smoke Grenades, Infiltrator Comms Arrays, which is, well, the unit contains a model of the Infiltrator Comms Array. If there are any friendly Chapter Phobos, Captains, or Lieutenants, this unit is always treated as being within range of those models' rights of battle and tactical precision abilities. And then next we have the Incursor Squads, which come base with an Oculus Bolt Carbine, which is Rapid Fire 1, 24-inch range, String 4, AP nothing, D1. And the target does not receive the benefit of cover to the saving throw. Once again, I would prefer just to take Imperial Fists. But they have concealed positions, combat squads, multi-spectrum array. When resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon, ignore the hit roll modifiers and ballistic skill modifiers. And they have smoke grenades. So it's cool. Another choice for your Primaris Marines. Scouts, pretty much the same. And then that's it. The Elites section got a couple new things. The main thing is the new Dreadknot, which they call it's a Dreadknot. It's a Dreadknot that isn't a called a Dreadknot, but it's basically the chassis of a Dreadknot. It's a tactical war suit, but it's a Dreadknot. It's an exposed Dreadknot basically, but it's like more like a walker. They're not tied in. Obviously, they can leave if they want. It's a war suit. But it's the Invictor Tactical War Suit. Now, the Invictor Tactical War Suit is about 131 base, but if you want to get the better gun, in my opinion, it's 137, I think. Just doing the math here. It's 90 base plus all the weapons. It comes with up to 13 wounds, and at 13 wounds, it's movement 10 inches, weapon skill 3 up, ballistic skill 3 up, strength 7, toughness 6, 13 wounds, 4 attacks, leadership 8, 3 up save. It comes base with Fragstorm Grenade Launcher, which is 18-inch range, assault D6, strength 4, AP nothing, D1. Once again, think about the tactical rules of Angels of Death. It also comes with a Heavy Bolter, which is 36-inch range, heavy 3, strength 5, AP -1, D1. And then Incendium Cannon, which is also heavy 2d6, 12-inch range. It's a flamer. Auto hits. Strength 5, AP -1, D1. Auto hits. Don't roll to hit. That's the first weapon. 2 Iron Hail Heavy Stubbers, which are heavy 3, strength 4, AP -1, D1. So once again, the Devastator Doctrine is going to be really fun in combination with this guy. And an Invictor Fist, which is strength times 2, AP -3, D3. Frankly, I would actually swap out the Flamer for the Twin Iron Hail Autocannon, which is a 48-inch range, heavy 6, strength 7, AP -1, D2. That's my opinion. I think that'd be more damage, especially in combination with the Devastator Doctrine. He can stay at a far distance and just shoot. And, sorry, I got some in my mouth. And kill some stuff from a distance. That's my opinion, but the Flamer's pretty cool too. I just, I like the fact that he's 3 up to hit, but again, you can reroll 1s. Pretty dangerous. I like him. He has concealed position, so you can set up this model during deployment. It can be set up anywhere that is 9 inches away from your opponent's deployment zone, which is hilarious. And heavy sidearm. While this model is within 1 inch of any enemy units, its heavy bolter has a type characteristic of pistol 3. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I like it. I like it. It's a cool new unit. As I said, point drops across the board for the elite section. For the fast attack section, not much change. The new unit is the Suppressor Squad, which is the Shadow Spear set, and they come with Accelerator Auto Cannons, so heavy 2, strength 7, AP -2, D2. And the cool thing about them is if an enemy unit is destroyed as a result of an attack with an Accelerator Auto Cannon by the model, that unit's model unit cannot fire Overwatch this turn. So it's a great way if you're playing against Tau or something to deny Overwatch. They're a good support unit. I'm just going to have a drink here. Good. So that's cool. That's pretty cool. They have movement 12 inches, weapon skill 3 up, weapon skill 3 up, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 3 up save. And let's see. Base, they are 18 points a model plus the autocannon. Still scout squads, the scout bike squad, the land speeders, attack bike squad, Devastator squad, Centurion Devastator squad, pretty much the same. They all got cheaper, as I said. Pretty much everything got cheaper, other than maybe 1 or 2 units. Points drops across the board to make things more affordable, so you take more models, and it gives you more support for firepower to take out your opponent. But then we have the new, so we're in the heavy sections now. In the heavy section, the new thing is the Eliminator Squad. And then, let me see, I think the other one's oh, it is. The Impulsor's a dedicated transport. The Eliminator Squad is, once again, from the Shadow Spear box set, but they got a new gun. And the new gun I really like. I really like the new gun. So the good thing about the Eliminator Squad is they have camo cloaks, they sit in the background, they can hide in terrain, and you just become an annoyance for your opponent. Weapon skill, 6-inch movement, weapon skill 3 up, ballistic skill 3 up, strength 4, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 2 attacks, leadership 7, 3 up save. And they come base with a bolt snipe rifle. But my problem is, do you really want your heavy support choices that are limited to be firing sniper rifles? Up to you. I'd prefer more in the elite section or the troop section. I like, personally, scouts with sniper rifles. And having a heavy support choice with a sniper rifle that at most is strength 5 kind of defies the purpose to me, in my opinion. That's, they have a few different choices, but it defines my opinion. The other choice is called a Las Fusel. And the Las Fusel is a 36-inch range heavy 1, strength 8, AP -3, 3 damage weapon. And once again, if you have the Devastator Doctrine like turn 1, strength 8, AP -4, right? 3 damage. Huge. These things will hurt vehicles. And that's what the Primaris Marines need, is models that will kill vehicles, right? And armor in general. So these guys will serve a purpose. They have camo cloaks, they have guided aim. You can make the lieutenant not shoot, and everyone's +1 to hit. They have covering fire, concealed positions. So as I said, it's pretty cool. New gun. I really like it. I really like the addition of the new gun. Hellblaster Squad, still a decent choice for a, anti-light armor. Thunderfire Cannon, Hunter, Stalker, Whirlwind, Predator, Vindicator, Land Raider Crusader, Land Raider Redeemer, Land Raider, right? Cool. Now we have some new, the next new vehicle is the one that was recently released, of course, the Codex, the Repulsor Executioner. It's about 280 points with all the bells and whistles. I really like them. I still think taking a couple of them is going to be pretty nasty, especially in combination with a Lieutenant and Captain. So they're rerolling ones to hit, ones to wound, firing twice. They have up to 16 wounds, movement 10 inches, with skill 3 up, 6 attacks, weapon skill 6 up, strength 8, toughness 8, leadership 9, 3 up save. And they have a bunch of guns, right? They have the Onslaught Gatling Cannon, which is a 30-inch range, heavy 12, strength 5, AP minus 1, D1. Once again, think about this thing in combination with the doctrines. Heavy Laser Destroyer, which is my favorite one, which is the 72-inch range, heavy 2, strength 10, AP minus 4, D6, and you can't do worse than a 3 in damage, right? Once again, it's going to be pretty nasty, especially if you get to fire twice. If you don't move or move within half your range, your distance, and you have to fire at the same target twice. Cool. It has auto launchers, so it can pop smoke. It has Power of the Machine Spirit, so it does not suffer the penalty of moving and firing heavy weapons. Repulsor Field. Subtract 2 from the charge roll, so if someone tries to assault it, it becomes a little harder. And it's measured from the hull, of course, and you can take up to 6 models, and it flies. I love it. Right? It has a bunch of weapons. I prefer the Heavy Laser Destroyer over the Macro Plasma Incinerator, because at best it's doing is 2 damage. Big whoop. Right, you need to do some damage. I might pick up myself a Repulsor Executioner or 2. It'd be kind of fun in the game. That's it for the heavy support choices of things that are new. In the dedicated transports, the drop pods got a huge weird buff. And matched play, this model and any units embarked aboard it are exempt from the Tactical Reserves matched play special rule. So you can drop them in your opponent's area, I'm guessing. That's what I'm reading it as, right? You don't have to deploy them in your zone turn 1. That's huge. And then turn 2, you can drop them wherever you want. And that's the other ones. Turn 1, you can drop them wherever you want here. So that's cool. I like that. Drop pods are not the most competitive anymore, so it helps make them. And also, they got way cheaper. I think they're like 65 points now. Used to be like 100. So they got way cheaper, and they got that rule. Awesome. I like it. Right? That's really cool. Landsphere Storms. Cool. The Repulsor, same as the old Repulsor. Next, we have the Impulsor, which is like the Repulsor. But the Impulsor is more of a bland, dedicated transport. A lot of people are really polarized on it. I don't know what to think. I'm curious about your thoughts, even in the comment section down below, of what you think about the new Impulsor. But the Impulsor is about 79 points base. 75 points base plus it comes stock with 2 Storm Bolters, which brings it to 79 points. But you can give it, Fragstorm grenade launchers, orbital comms array, a bunch of other options. And it takes, 6 Primaris infantry. It cannot take jump, pack, or Mach 10 Gravis models. It's up to 11 wounds, 14-inch movement, and it can fly. But skill 3 up, 3 attacks, weapon skill 6 up, strength 7, toughness 7, 11 wounds, leadership 8, 3 up save. And I said you can get a bunch of weapons. It's a hover tank. It has a repulsor field, so -2 to a charge. Assault vehicle. So after this model moves in your movement phase, if this model did not advance, any units embarked can... if it did not advance, any units embarked aboard it can disembark. Units that do so can be chosen to charge with that turn. That's pretty cool. That is a cool thing. As I said, I'm not the most confident with generic Primaris Marines and Assault. But that's cool. That's a really cool thing. So you can move, and then get out, then assault. So that's a pretty cool tactic. My question is, does the Repulsor Executioner have that? No. So that's pretty cool. So this, I think, is a cool vehicle. For 79 points, yeah, I think it's worth taking. Shield Dome, it has a 4-up invulnerable save. That's cool. I'd take a Shield Dome. Is it a choice? Can have a Shield Dome. Or an orbital comms array. Or can be equipped with one of the following. Okay, so it's a bunch of different options. It's either the 4-up invulnerable save, Or in your shooting phase, one model from your army can do an orbital bombardment with an orbital comms array. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, it's really awesome. That's it for the things. Then obviously the flying, Stormhawk, Storm Raven, Storm Talon. Cool. Cool stuff. As I said, it's been a really interesting codex. I think things are better. You know, now that Bolter's got more powerful, the tactical, the tactical doctrine is going to be amazing. The chapter tactics got better for most of the other tactics, so it's not just Ultramarines having fun. And then next, I just want to talk about the Litanies of Battle. I think this is new, so I might as well talk about it. It's for if you include a chaplain. Litanies of Battle. So before the battle, generate the Litanies of Battle, one for each chaplain. So Litany of Faith. If this litany is inspiring, then a model in a friendly chapter unit within 6 inches of this model can, if it loses a wound as a result of mortal wound, roll a d6 on a 5 or 6. That model is not lost. It's not cumulative with any other similar power. Number 2, Catechism of Fire. Unit within 6 inches of this model, a chapter unit within 6 inches of the model, when resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon by a model in that unit against the closest visible enemy unit to that model, add 1 to the wound roll. Cool. Exhortation of Rage. Once again, a 6-inch range, chapter model. When resolving an attack made with this melee weapon with the model in that unit, on an unmodified hit roll of 6, you get to make 1 additional attack against the same unit using the same weapon. This additional attack does not generate another attack. Number 4, Mantra of Strength. Add 1 to this model's attacks and strength characteristic, and add 1 to the damage characteristic of melee weapons this model is equipped with. Recitation of Focus. Select 1 friendly chapter unit within 6 inches of this model. When resolving an attack made with a ranged weapon by the model in this unit, add 1 to the hit roll. Cool. And finally, Canticle of Hate. If this litany is inspiring, add 2 to charge rolls made for friendly chapter units while they're within 6 inches of this model. In addition, when a friendly chapter model makes a pile-in or consolidate move within 6 inches of this model, models in that unit can move up to an additional 3 inches. This is not cumulative with any other ability that adds to a unit's charge roll or increases the distance it can pile in. So there we go. As I said, points drops across the board. No characters. So of course you're going to have to buy a supplement. That really does kind of suck. But yeah. So luckily I don't use Lysander that often. But you Gilliman, you Ultramarine players, yeah. What else? The new vehicles. The Impulsor. I like it. What do you guys think about the Impulsor? The new Executioner. I like it. The new War Suit. I think it's cool. The guys that they're bringing from Shadowspear. Awesome. Like, I think this is a better codex. It is better in... They made everything better, basically, other than Gilliman. Slight nerf. I'm okay with that. But everything overall, I feel, is improved and makes it more competitive in the meta. Will this be a game changer? We're going to see. I think there's going to be some nasty builds out there just full of bolter fire that are going to be AP -2 bolters, right? From intercessor squads. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think this really brings Space Marines back closer to the forefront of the competitive meta, and definitely gives them a well-needed boost. But most importantly, what do you think? Leave comments in the comment section about what you think about these new rules. What do you think? I'm really curious. Let's create a discussion in the section down below. Stay tuned for more reviews. As always, this video is brought to you by my Patreon campaign. Link in the description below if you want to help support my videos. It's because of them that I can make these videos. So stay tuned for more reviews. Next one, I'm going to go over the Space Marine, the Codex Supplement for Ultramarines. It's going to be awesome. So stay tuned. Until next time, Jay saying, happy painting.